One of the first things you'll probably do when you buy an adventure bike is look to what accessories are available out there on the market. You'll start researching it on Facebook, asking for referrals, reading reports, reading magazines, and I suppose probably the number one go-to for information on parts is good old YouTube, where you're looking for people to do a review on the product. So today I'm going to go through the Honda Transalp XL750 and show you what I've put on this bike over the last 2 months. Now I've done 2,100 kilometres on it, 2,100 kilometres on it, so these parts have been on the bike for most of that time. So I suppose I'm good enough now to talk about it. I'm not one of these guys that does a review, you know, when they get a product thrown at them and they go for a 20-minute ride, then give you a 30-minute review on how good the product is. I'm going to go through it. I'd like to say warts and all, but there's no warts in this review. They're all good. They're all good parts. I tend to like to use Australian-made products like Barkbusters, B&B Off-Road, cool dry seat covers, all that sort of stuff, and you'll see that on my bike. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull over eventually and just go through each one of these parts. I'll start with what's up front here first. Well, I've got quad lock holding this phone in place. I've ridden probably 20,000 kilometres with that in place on this bike, and my Tenere, happy with it. I don't need to go for that. Plenty of reviews on that. Next thing is up here I've got my Garmin Zumo. That's been with me probably for about 20,000 kilometres as well. Hasn't let me down. That's mounted to a GPS mount, which I got off AliExpress for about 20 bucks. The reason I got it from AliExpress because it was very hard to get one for the Honda Transalp, but it was just out and there wasn't a lot of accessories available for it. Jiffy did do one, but it was an extraordinary price, and 20 bucks. I thought I'd give this a try. If it didn't work, I'd rip it off and throw it away. Not a lot of money lost. And that's mounted to a security device as well, which I'll pull off in a minute and show you what that is. So what I'll do is I'll find a nice little spot and I'll just go over the bike and show you what accessories I put onto the Honda Transalp XL750. And I look forward to your comments down below. Tell me what you think of them. Tell me what you've done with your bike, because I've still got a few more items to go onto this bike. The seat cover has to go on. I don't know what else. Oh, I've got a one of those, what are they called, like this cruise control, manual cruise controls coming along, in which I'll do a review on. It's just a cheap one. Once again, it's a knockoff of a popular brand. I'll give it a go and see what that's like. I'm not a big fan of riding with cruise control, but I'm going on a big trip soon. I just want to try it out. If I don't like it, once again, I'll throw that over my shoulder. Other than that, I can't think of any other accessories that I'm going to put on this bike. I'm setting it up for touring and a bit of off-road stuff. Unfortunately, the weather gods are not on my side today. There's a bit of drizzle around. I've been riding the bike in rain mode. It's the first time I've had it in rain mode, and you can certainly notice the difference in power. So what I'm going to do is quickly go over this bike and just show some of the components I've put onto the bike since buying it a couple of months ago. As I was saying, it's only done 2,100 kilometres. And I'm just getting it all accessorized, ready for the bigger trips. So let's start from the front. So right from the get-go, as you can see, I've got Barkbuster handguards on it. I wouldn't touch anything else. I love the Barkbusters. They're easy to fit, reasonable price and all that. And yeah, fairly robust sort of things. Dropping down from there, SW Motec are the crash bars that I've decided to go with. These ones are pretty good. I don't have the lower sort of section for it because I've got the B&B bash plate down the bottom, but these give you really good protection up the side and around the front. And if you look down, you can see well protected side. And I suppose if you do fall, it's going to give your legs a bit of protection as well through the side there, because these splay out a little bit. You might notice that connected to the SW Motec crash bars, set of little spotties. Now I haven't finished wiring up these as yet. As you can see, wires are just dangling down there. I've got to tape them up. That's a bit amateur there, but I'm waiting on a connection to come through so I can wire this into the dashboard, to the TFT of this bike, so it's all automated. Like these spotties are Steadies, S-T-E-D-I, 10 watts. I've decided to go with 10 watts because I want to run them as DRLs, daylight running lamps. So just give me a little bit more, I suppose, visibility at the front on the night roads, and obviously being seen a little bit more out on the road by oncoming traffic. I'm just going to wipe the screen down because I reckon we get a bit of water there. Sorry about that. So coming down the bike, go down the bottom here, we've got a B&B bash plate. This item is so solid, so strong, so well built. It's a work of art. I always say that to people. It's something when you get it, it's so shiny, you just want to hang it on the wall. Easy to fit, strong, robust, all that sort of stuff. It does the job. I've had them on all my bikes, and I wouldn't go for any other bash plate like in the B&B off-road bash plate. So look at that. You know, it just looks fantastic. The lines and all that sort of stuff. You know, the thing about the Transalp, it's got really good lines. You know, beautiful lines on it, and the B&B bash plate just complements that, the way they've built this plate and designed it. So anyway, onward to the rest of the accessories. Not a lot to say about that. Gives you plenty of protection underneath, plenty of protection at front. I am thinking about a radiator guard. Not sure if I'm going to need it, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's not a lot of space there for a rock to fly through, and it goes through there, it's going to hit these things up here more than likely. So it'd be very rare that you get something flying in there, but for the sake of $100 or so, I suppose, just gives me that little bit of extra insurance. In the radiator area, and the last thing I want to be is in the high country or in the outback of South Australia and put a rock through that and end my trip at that point there. So coming around, where were we? Yeah, B&B bash plate coming up. We've got the pannier racks. Now they're a set of Barrett pannier racks, B-A-R-R-E-T. Pretty sure of that. They don't have any branding on it, so I'm not sure if they actually make them themselves or they import them and just sell them off their website. I'll put a link down to them. I do like these because they sit in nice and tight with the bike. They're not protruding right out here. They give a little bit of protection to the muffler. A lot of modern adventure bikes today, you've got massive muffler on the back, which, you know, I suppose is not well protected, unless this thing here is going to give you a bit of protection down the side. Coming around, I fitted this little box here. I think it's a 10-litre hard case. I just bought that at a local camping store. They were flogging them off for about $10, 10 Australian dollars. So I bought a couple of them, and I just fit all my gear in it. You know, I can get the GoPro case in there, gloves, anything in there really, drink bottle, basic tools. It's easily removed. I can put on a bag or anything in its place if I want to remove that, but I'll leave it. I do like that. It's not too big, it's not heavy or anything like that. It sits really well, and it's great because you can just close it and lock it up. Beyond that, coming around, let's go up to the dash. Quad lock, pretty standard, and then you've got the Garmin Zumo XT here, which is fitted, as I was saying earlier on, to a mounting bracket here, which I got off AliExpress for about $20. I think it was $24 delivered. It's been really good. It wasn't the best of items to fit. It just wasn't a perfect fit. You had to bend it a little bit, bend the arms and that, just to get the proper alignment, to get it all straight. But hey, for 24 bucks, that's not too bad. At the time of buying it, I could only find one other brand that was producing it. I think that was Givi, G-I-V-I, and they were about 70 or 80 Australian dollars. So I went with this one, give it a try. If I didn't like it, I'd give it away to someone else. If you are to fit these, and I will be doing a full review on this, if you are to fit it, these little screws, standard screws here, they're not quite long enough, so it can be a little bit fiddly, sort of trying to get them to fit in place. So if you've got a hardware store that's got this sort of stuff, see if you can get ones that are 4 or 5 mils longer. So that holds the Zumo XT quite well. There's not a lot of wobble there. You will see bouncing up and down, but then again the bike is bouncing up and down as well. And behind that I've got a mount here, which I can lock this on. Don't know what the name of that is there, of that mount. It comes with a key, obviously. You can just pull it off, and you can leave your GPS mounted permanently there if you wish to, and that's the main reason for it. It gives me that security there. I'll put a name down the bottom, a link and all that to what this is. So let's have a look. What have we missed? Nothing. I think we've got everything there. I will be buying a cool dry seat cover for it. Other than that, as I was saying earlier on, I've only got the cruise control coming through, which will fit here. I'm not buying the OEM cruise control or the aftermarket ones. I think the price on them is absolutely horrendous. It's silly for what they are. I'm just going to buy one of those manual ones, and I'll do a review on that. Yeah, I won't use it very often, so I've got a big trip coming up, so I just want to be set up for that. One of the things I did forget to mention is the 12-volt power outlet that sits on the dash there. That's something I installed. I ordered that directly from Honda. I think it was about 40 bucks or something like that, which is absolutely atrocious as far as price goes. I find a lot of the Honda accessories, the genuine ones, are well overpriced. You know, that's something that they probably pick up from a Chinese manufacturer for about 50 cents and probably install it on the bike for less than that. Anyway, I installed it. It was very easy to install. Just pull out the blank, fit that, do it up, and there's a plug down the bottom there you plug it into. So yeah, that should be a standard on an adventure bike of this style. The crossbar here for the GPS should be standard nowadays. You're getting it on, you know, some of the Beamers and the CF Moto bikes and all that. Yamaha Tenere should be standard on the Honda Transalp. Listen, at the end of the day, here in Australia, we don't get the quick shifter like you might overseas. So, you know, Honda, you're saving a lot of money there. How's about just throw on, you know, a couple of these lolly items, a couple of these small items that cost you jack shit to fit up and keep us a little bit more happy here in Australia. Anyway, that's the rant over. I'm just trying out this dirt road here. It's sloppy in places. I've just got the standard tyres on, the OEM tyres that might come out with. I've got it in rain mode here. Yeah, I don't know, you know, run it in rain mode, it's just got to drop the power down, isn't it? And, you know, drop the transaction, the what do you call it? The traction down. Seemed to work okay. Pretty happy with that. I think I'll just hit the old tarmac on the way home, because the more of these dirt roads I do, the dirtier the bike's going to get, and I'm not really feeling like washing it because I'm lazy. Anyway, guys, thanks for that. Thanks for watching the channel. Just checking out those bumps there. Let's flick this into sport mode. I know it's still wet because I like sport. And go home.